All right, so welcome to the exchange. So, first and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to give you my opinion on what I see in the stock markets. Looking to the left to see what has happened, then looking to the right to see what may happen. Do your own due diligence. Make sure you invest money in things you know about. If you don't know, invest in yourself and learn. That's the best way you can make money out here and have some security in these markets. So, let's look at what happens to stock markets so we can get a better idea and some security in exchange. Welcome to the Exchange Show.
All right, here we go. On this episode of the Exchange, we're talking about our favorite stocks. This week, we want to start off with Apple, and if you can notice this, it looks like we might be in. I don't want to say it, but it looks like it. Looks like we're in a bearish flag. All right, so got a downward movement to an upward movement, but this is looking very bearish. The reason being is we still have this gap here. Once this gap is filled, I think we're going to come right back down and we're going to test this 196. If we break that 196, I'm looking for this gap to be tested down here. And the reason being is the following. All right, so we had earnings there. That's the earnings level. Our next earnings level was up here, and it goes to here. So the reason I'm looking for, if it does, once again, if it does break that level, there is definitely going to be orders here. There's an institutional candle already been tested and broken up. Now we have this down here that probably is going to be calling for some orders. So just be wary. And not wary, but if you're playing options, you should be happy if this happens. You could first make money on the way down for Apple, and if Apple goes down, you know the next thing we're going to talk about is probably going to go down as well. You can make a lot of money on options going down. Buy it here with the option money you made, and then ride it back up. It may bounce around for a little bit, or it could just do a quick dab and go right back up. So for Apple, I'm waiting for a downturn to happen so it can do its thing and go back up. Next, we want to talk about the SPY. And in the SPY, I'm looking at the same exact thing. Why? Because remember, Apple's leading pretty much a lot of the bigger ETFs out here. We have gaps, and now we have a gap that's been filled here. We have a gap above the current price action here that looks, it wants to get filled, and if it does, that would complete the bearish flag pattern. It may tap the support or the resistance here because now it's under here, so I can change this. And if it taps this resistance at 542, it may bring us right back down, but I'm looking for it to go down to about 506 to fill this area. If it breaks that 506, I'm not going to lie, I would love to see it hit 593, because if it hits 593, I'm looking for long calls as far out as I can make them. And I will pick this area here at 565 or 560 as a place for me to take profit or as a strike price. So with that, just be honest with you, I'm excited. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin. It came down to what we were talking about. It had a great came down, hit it, it went back up. Now currently, you know how a lot of other ones are having these bearish flag patterns. Well, this one here is starting a nice little bullish pattern. If it can break this pattern here, it most likely is going to go up to about 65,000. Now, the thing about it is that you don't know when it's going to do it. So let's just say about halfway through this candle at 58. So say you can get about 58. Actually, yeah. Let's call it here. Let's see if our pattern can go from there to there and then break to the upside. I feel like this is a good area for orders that haven't been filled to be placed and then push it up further. So Bitcoin, I still see a bullish pattern. It played out its bearish double top here, came down to an area, got bought back up. It's looking like it wants to sell down some more just to buy up. I think it's probably going to test it looks like it wants to test the 70,000 area again, but at the same time, are we getting higher highs and higher lows? Currently, it looks like from this point, no. You got lower highs, but you don't have lower lows. This pattern is going to predict where we're going next, so just be patient. Now, with that being said, we are going to talk about Tesla. Tesla has come up already. It went down, and this would have been a good buying place for a lot of people. 182, 181 area. Currently, we are consolidating in this price range, right at 200. So if you're under 200 and you get Tesla, I mean, let's be honest, you're probably going to be very happy with yourself. I wanted to see this thing go up to the moon. I wanted to see it go to like almost 300, but it didn't happen. Am I upset? Yes, I'm upset. But am I mad? No, I'm not mad. It may just give me a better area to buy. And this gap area here is full. So we're going to take it and we're going to fill this area with it, because that now needs to be filled. This gap area got smaller, but it's not filled. So we have areas where we have some interest building. I'm sure that at this point, if you notice, you got some divergence. This was the last here. Well, in the last couple of weeks, this was one of the latest areas of lowness, and currently we are below it, but price action is above it. So we may see price come down some more. So we have this gap area down here in the 150s. If you're looking for another buy, you might want to wait till 150s, 147s. That could be a great entry for you for Tesla. So wait and see. This one looks like it wants to, it's just pushing. It's going to consolidate until it just pushes out. So let's see what our indicator says. We're currently under the 200. We're under the 50. We're right above the 100. Generally below the 200 makes it bearish. So if we're going down, that 150 area, at least this 173 area is definitely possible. So let's look at one more we were talking about earlier. I'm still interested in UPS. I mean, I haven't gotten that push that I wanted to see. I think it's going to go down a little bit more. I really do. So there's a demand area here. There are definitely, yeah, we broke this pattern to the downside. There's definitely some room for it to continue falling in the daily time frame. Lowest point probably about 110. Next area 120. Currently we're messing around with the 125 area, but there is still a huge gap there. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be waiting for this one for a while. I'm going to set an alert in my other account and wait for UPS to push up when it hits the bottom. So the last one I want to talk about this week is ARK. So if you haven't looked at ARK lately, I think you should. There's a gap that was just filled in the last week for the $40 range, but it floated around its $30 or $35 to $36 gap area as well. So if this is going to do like a lot of other stocks right now, looks like they're doing these bearish flag patterns. If it completes this bearish flag pattern and pushes down, you may be able to get into ARK at a $30 range. Now, if you don't want to do that, you want to be real patient and you're like, I think it's going to go. There's a $29 range too, or area that may be where you want to get in as well. But be patient and watch what the candlesticks are telling you, because you may get these entries that are not exactly what you want, but they could be exactly what you need. Now, with that being said, if the interest rates go down, you know, small caps are probably going to take off. So innovation is going to take off. IWM, you already heard about that. If you haven't, look at that chart as well. And a lot of the stocks people are talking about probably in 2020, 2021, they may take off as well. But that's it for this week on the exchange. I'll see you next week.